1. iOS 26 Beta 3 Review. Liquid glass gets dialed back. What you need to know. 2. Apple's liquid glass design gets frosted. What's new in iOS 26? 3. Top 10 exciting features of iOS 26 you need to know. 4. iOS 26 Liquid Glass UI Beta 3. Why it's not liquid anymore. 5. iOS 26 Beta 3. Liquid glass changes and Jeff Williams retires. 1. iOS 26 Beta 3 Review. Liquid glass gets dialed back. What you need to know. Hashtag iOS 26 Beta 3 reduces the liquid glass effect. Apple has made a notable adjustment to the iPhone's sleek, glass-like appearance with the recent release of the third developer beta for iOS 26. This change comes in response to user feedback indicating that the previous update rendered certain elements of the user interface challenging to read. During the Worldwide Developers Conference, WWDC, in June 2025, Apple unveiled its innovative design language called Liquid Glass. This design draws inspiration from the real-world properties of glass, such as its ability to refract light and its semi-transparent characteristics. However, the initial version presented in the first developer beta of iOS 26, along with updates for other Apple devices, still required enhancements in usability, accessibility, and overall readability. In the previous month, Apple addressed several significant concerns regarding liquid glass, particularly how the control center's excessive transparency allowed the iPhone's home screen icons and widgets to bleed through, resulting in a cluttered and confusing visual experience. With the latest update, Apple has taken further steps to tone down the overly glassy aesthetic in several critical areas. While the second beta focused on refining the control center, the third beta shifts its attention to other components of the mobile operating system, including notifications and navigation within Apple's native applications, such as Apple Music. For example, the navigation bar in the Apple Music app no longer allows the background to shine through, opting instead for a more solid white appearance. Additionally, notifications have become less transparent, with a darker background behind the text that enhances contrast and readability. Hashtag TechCrunch event. Boston, MA July 15. While these modifications arguably improve the readability of features, some users are now expressing concerns that Apple may have overcorrected, reverting to a more frosted glass aesthetic. It's essential to keep in mind that these are merely developer betas, early iterations of the mobile operating system that will not be finalized until the public release later this fall. The purpose of beta software is to enable Apple to gather user feedback, identify bugs, and resolve issues before a broader rollout. This means that Apple may continue to refine the liquid glass design in future updates, striving to find the ideal balance for this new glassy appearance across all applications and screens. Announcing a significant redesign only to discard much of it seems counterproductive. Apple should empower users to select their preferred level of glassiness instead of merely rolling back by 75%. Perhaps they should just rename it to Frosted Glass, commented Mark Gurman on Twitter. Hashtag user reactions. Benjamin Mayo tweeted about the diluted effect of liquid glass in iOS 26 Beta 3. Zadaka expressed disappointment, stating that the update felt like a retreat rather than an improvement, describing it as frosted glass with dark backgrounds. Cloud humorously remarked on the backlash, suggesting that the changes were a response to user complaints. Omar Santiago criticized the design shift, arguing that iOS 26 increasingly resembles iOS 18, questioning the rationale behind promoting a new design if it ultimately retains 80% of the old one. Hashtag conclusion. As we await the final version of iOS 26, it'll be interesting to see how Apple navigates these design challenges. What are your thoughts on the changes? Do you believe Apple should allow users more customization options for the liquid glass effect? Share your opinions in the comments. 2. Apple's liquid glass design gets frosted. What's new in iOS 26? Apple, known for its innovative design language, has stirred up a conversation with the latest iOS 26 developer beta. The company has decided to dial back the transparency of its liquid glass design, making navigation bars, buttons, and tabs less see-through and easier on the eyes. Initially introduced at WWDC 2025 with a flashy, glass-like appearance, liquid glass was meant to be a groundbreaking feature. However, many users quickly voiced their concerns about the excessive transparency, which made it difficult to see certain options, particularly within the control center. In response, Apple made adjustments in previous betas, but the latest iOS 26 beta takes things a step further by significantly reducing the transparency of these elements. While this change aims to improve readability, it has sparked a heated debate among Apple enthusiasts. Some argue that the new design feels cheaper and that Apple is backtracking on its original vision for liquid glass. Social media platforms are buzzing with comments from users who are disappointed with the direction Apple is taking. Sam Cole, a prominent tech analyst, tweeted, iOS 26 Beta 3 completely nerfs liquid glass. It looks so much cheaper now and feels like Apple is backtracking on their original vision. Others have taken to social media to express their frustration, calling for Apple to stop ruining the liquid glass design and labeling the new iteration a step backwards. It's worth noting that this is still just a developer beta, and Apple is likely to make further adjustments before the official release of iOS 26 in September. As the tech giant continues to refine its design language, one wonders, how far can Apple go in balancing aesthetics and functionality without alienating its loyal fanbase? And this is the part most people miss. The controversy surrounding liquid glass isn't just about aesthetics. It's about Apple's commitment to innovation and its willingness to listen to user feedback. So what do you think? Is Apple's latest move a step forward or a step backwards? Share your thoughts in the comments below. 3. Top 10 exciting features of iOS 26 you need to know. Your iPhone is about to become unrecognizable, and these 10 groundbreaking iOS 26 features prove it. While rumors swirled about flashy AI innovations, Apple has quietly delivered something far more revolutionary, a complete reinvention of everyday smartphone functionality. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this evolution worth the upgrade, or just polished window dressing? Let's dive into what could be Apple's most polarizing update yet. The WWDC 2025 keynote dropped a bombshell. iOS 26, previously dubbed iOS 19. Shifts focus from AI spectacle to practical refinement. For iPhone loyalists and Android-curious observers alike, the update promises to transform routine tasks through what Apple calls liquid glass, a visionary interface overhaul inspired by Vision OS. This isn't just a fresh coat of paint. It's a fundamental reimagining of how we interact with our devices. Here's the full breakdown of iOS 20's game changers in no ranked order, complete with insights for newcomers. 1. The liquid glass revolution. Apple's senior VP of software engineering Craig Federighi calls this the most expressive personalization system ever. Imagine app icons and interface elements behaving like molten glass, translucent, responsive to touch pressure, and dynamically adapting to screen colors. The redesign extends to core apps like Messages and Camera, replacing clunky menus with intuitive rounded toolbars. Pro tip: the new transparent icon finishes will make your home screen feel like a futuristic control panel. 2. Lock screen sorcery. Your lock screen now houses liquid glass time/date widgets that shift size based on wallpaper complexity. Spatial wallpapers gain parallax depth when tilting your phone, while dynamic scenes automatically generate 3D effects. It's not just pretty. The system intelligently prioritizes visibility against any background. 3 camera app reborn ***. Apple finally ditches the overcrowded camera interface. Video/photo toggles dominate the main screen, with a side swipe revealing niche modes like spatial recording. Tap the settings bar to instantly adjust resolution and FPS. No more menu diving. The revamped Photos app now separates your chaotic library from curated collections. 4. Messages get superpowers. Here's where Apple plays catch-up, controversially. Real-time text translation finally arrives, automatically converting foreign messages to your preferred language, and vice versa. Group chats gain Android-style typing indicators and AI poll suggestions. But here's the kicker. Should Apple be praised for innovating or shamed for copying features Android had years ago? 5. CarPlay's Liquid Makeover. Your dashboard just got safer and sleeker. Notifications now appear as subtle glass-like bubbles instead of obstructive banners. The new tap-back responses and pin conversations could reduce distracted driving, though some might argue touchscreens inherently endanger road safety. 6. Phone App IQ Boost. Voicemail summaries now display up front, while Hold Assist saves you from elevator music purgatory. The controversial part? Call screening, an Android staple since 2019, finally reaches iPhones. Will Apple's version outperform Google's established system? Early testers report 89% spam detection accuracy. Siebter Smarte Navigation. Your iPhone now memorizes frequent routes and suggests alternatives mid-drive. Location tracking is fully encrypted. Swipe to erase history instantly. Privacy advocates rejoice, but could this enable new forms of surveillance if misused? 8. Wallet, your digital lifeline. Store passport scans for age verification, though TSA still requires physical copies. Boarding passes now link to 3D airport maps, while payment terminals show installment options. Convenient? Absolutely. But does normalizing digital IDs risk identity theft vulnerabilities? 9. Game Center Reloaded. A new hub centralizes all mobile and arcade titles, complete with friend leaderboards. The social gaming push is clear, but will hardcore gamers stick to dedicated consoles? 10. Compatibility Reality Check. Supported models stretch back to 2019's iPhone 11 series. Surprising longevity for Apple. The full list includes iPhone 16 family, all variants. iPhone 15/14/13/12 families. iPhone 11 series. iPhone Doinedigen. The burning question asterisk. Is iOS 26 a masterclass in refinement or proof Apple's innovation well is running dry? With borrowed features and aesthetic tweaks dominating over true breakthroughs, should users demand more radical changes? Sound off below. Are you rushing to install the beta or waiting to see if these upgrades justify the hype? Let's debate. Is practicality the new innovation, or has Apple lost its magic touch? 4. iOS 26 Liquid Glass UI Beta 3. Why it's not liquid anymore. Imagine if your favorite app suddenly looked like it stepped back in time. This is what some iOS users are experiencing with the latest updates to Apple's Liquid Glass UI. But here's where it gets controversial. The much-hyped Liquid Glass interface, introduced with iOS 26 for iPhones, is undergoing significant changes. What was once praised for its sleek, transparent design is now looking more frosted than futuristic. Back in June, Apple unveiled the Liquid Glass UI, promising a fresh look with a focus on transparency and glass-like elements throughout the OS. However, many early testers found the design to be a readability disaster, with text blending into the background due to poor contrast. In response to these concerns, Apple made some adjustments in the second beta, softening some elements to enhance clarity. But the third beta brings even more drastic changes, transforming the liquid glass effect into something akin to frosted glass. Buttons and controls now appear markedly different from their original beta versions. Users have been vocal about these changes on social media. At Tech_Marcel, for instance, believes this is a downgrade, noting the noticeable differences. Another user, at IamInyai, suggests that Apple might have realized liquid glass doesn't perform well on older devices, leading to issues like overheating and lag. This could mean that simplifying the visuals is a strategic move to ensure better performance as these devices phase out. Some users propose a more flexible solution, adding a settings section for customizing the appearance, including options for light and dark modes, accent colors, motion blur settings, and reflectivity. This would allow users to tailor the experience to their preferences. With iOS 26 set to launch in September, we still have a couple of months to see how the final version will shake out. It's entirely possible that more changes are on the horizon as Apple fine-tunes the user interface. And this is the part most people miss. While Apple is making these adjustments, they're also working on future-proofing their products. By optimizing for older devices and providing customization options, they're ensuring that their users have a seamless experience regardless of their device age or personal style preferences. What do you think? Should Apple stick with the simpler, frosted design, or is there room for a return to the original liquid glass concept? Share your thoughts in the comments. 5. iOS 26 Beta 3. Liquid glass changes and Jeff Williams retires. Imagine diving into a world where cutting-edge technology meets controversy and change. That's exactly what Benjamin and Chance explore in their latest discussion on the iOS 26 Beta 3, where Apple's liquid glass design changes take center stage. But here's where it gets controversial. The duo debates whether these changes truly enhance the aesthetic appeal and whether they stay true to the vision Apple unveiled in June. And this is the part most people miss. There's a lot more to unpack in these latest betas for iPad, Watch, and Mac, including some intriguing updates that could reshape how we interact with these devices. But that's not all. Apple has formally appealed the EU's anti-steering requirements, and Jeff Williams, a long-standing figure in Apple's leadership, has announced his retirement, marking a significant shift in the company's executive landscape. In the latest episode of 9 to 5 Mac Happy Hour Plus, Benjamin delves into the report that Apple has submitted an official bid for the streaming rights to Formula One in the US. Don't miss out on the action. Subscribe at 9to5mac.com/join. Sponsored by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Get 10 free meals with a free item for life at hellofresh.com/happyhour10fm. Sponsored by Roborock. The smartest vacuums just got more affordable. Roborock's Prime Day sale has arrived, with exclusive, limited-time savings on their top models. Sponsored by Mint Mobile. Get your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at minttmobile.com/happyhour. Sponsored by Oracle. Learn how to cut your cloud bill in half at oracle.com/happyhour. Hosts, Chance Miller and Benjamin Mayo. Find them on various social media platforms. Subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Overcast, and Spotify. Join 9 to 5 Mac Happy Hour Plus for ad-free episodes, pre- and post-show content, and bonus episodes. Support Benjamin and Chance directly with a subscription at 9to5mac.com/join. Submit your questions on Twitter, Mastodon, or Threads, or email feedback to happyhour@9to5mac.com. Links to related articles and products are provided for further exploration. Add 9to5Mac to your Google News feed. FTC. We use income-earning affiliate links. For more information, visit 9to5mac.com/about/affiliate.